Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer. This is my first ever playthrough of Genshin Impact, and we're walking past the Palais, and it's still so pretty. Even the first time we saw it, it's still just as pretty as we see it now. We are going to be doing Navia's story quest today, and Navia's story quest was something that crept up on me because I checked the story quests just this week to find out what we're doing this week. What is our next task? Is it down here? Is that where we can go to? What is our next task that we're going to be doing in this game? And legitimately, I saw Navia's story quest and I went nuts. I was like, oh my god, the MVP yourself. I don't know if this is the right way to go. Probably isn't. We'll see though. It's up around here. I'm so excited because I know for a fact, I said it in the community tab, I said it everywhere, I know for a fact that this is going to be great. I know it will be. Navia is a character who I adore, one of my favorite characters, one of my top 5 favorite characters. Eventually when we catch up, we're going to be doing like a top 10 favorite characters, and we're going to be doing like, favorite outfits, favorite, stories, everything. But for now also, we do have a wish that we can pull off here for Zhongli. I think I have 75 pity for Zhongli. Now, that's a soft pity. Now, here's the thing. This is why I'm terrified. I love losing a 50-50 because I'm so good at it. I'm so good at losing 50-50s. But, right, it's one of those situations where it still makes you nervous. A 50-50, losing a 50-50 is hilarious sometimes. In some cases, you get some really cool characters. You really do. We've gotten some cool characters out of losing the 50-50 many a time. And that's always like super, super appreciated when we do. The only 2 characters we don't have off this one, like the 7 5-stars, is Tanari and Diha. So if we got them, that'd be also great. If we get Chi-Chi again, that'd also be funny. Now, we might not even get it on this wish, but let's try it out anyway. There's no point beating around the bush. I feel like if I lose the 50-50 today, like, doing the Navia quest will be like the cushion after the fall, you know? Let's try it out. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't look! No! Okay, we got a consolation for Jean. That's fine. Look, there's nothing you can do. We'll keep going. We have Navia's story quest to do. And the thing is, we still got 20 days left. I will still wish for 20 days on Zhongli's banner. And I will do that over the next 20 days. And we have a lot. In fairness, we have the whole time. And we're guaranteed a 5-star next time. I am the master of losing 50-50, but we can say, Jean, we got you another consolation. So now when Jean picks up elemental orbs or particles, all party members will have their movement speed and attack speed increased to 15% for 15 seconds. Oh, that's pretty cool, I guess. Her artifacts are terrible. I have to fix those artifacts. Those are like temporary artifacts that I had for her. I usually put them there, like some characters have temporary artifacts when we're like leveling up, but since she's been so good anyway, I just must have forgotten. Yeah, okay, that's, as we say, the game isn't made to just win all the time. If you won all the characters that you wanted all the time, I'm pretty sure, like, it wouldn't, the system wouldn't work. But today we're going to see Navia. We're going to forget about losing that 50-50 for now. And we're going to keep going, because I'm excited to meet Navia again for the 10th time, and always the best time. Let's go. I wonder how it's going to start, though. Of course, with Paimon and Wonder.
If it isn't my dear partner.
Oh my god, my dear partner! Like some story quests don't start right away with the character that is their story quest, so it's so good to see her right away.
It's Navia!
Yeah, same, Paimon. Same. Look at this sweetheart.
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today. Are you headed somewhere?
You're just getting our daily dose of adventuring in, but if you have anything you want us to do, I'll do it right away. Free of charge.
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
Oh my god, yeah, all the stuff after
We
Poisson.
wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of. Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster. Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson.
Should you really be the one offering compensation is an interesting question, because you're saying she's offering compensation for the families affected by the disaster. But I think, like, yeah, and the Spina Dorzula was affected too. I think from Navi's perspective, we're probably going to find out that, like, again, she wants to fill in those cracks before they're even, like, larger than they are. But we should ask her about it. Like, I want to know. I want to know what's happening with that.
Though the victims have received relief payments from the court. In my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well.
So she's seen as because the disaster happened in Poisson, that it should be paid through the Spina di Rosula. I don't exactly agree totally. Like, I really feel like, you know, if there is like, I think it's amazing that she is doing that, by the way. She loves the people of Poisson. Like, it's fun, 100% fantastic.
Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date.
Well, see, that's the thing. They've probably gotten money from the Court of Fontaine, but if anyone knows how, like, government repayments go in any culture, you know what I mean? It doesn't always tend to be, like, enough all the time. So, like, it makes sense that, like, she would want to, like, flip the bill for or, you know, fix the bill for the rest of it, I suppose you could say. She's just a really good person, and the Spina di Rosula is like famous for like helping out the smaller you know, things with and this is much more than a smaller thing. This is like filling in the cracks in like a big way. This is more of a chasm than a crack.
Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
That's another point, I suppose. She wants to make sure that they still are confident in the Spina di Rosula.
Whoa, spoken like a true president. You're a really responsible leader. That must be taking up most of your time, though, right?
Oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, I'm always forgetting one thing or another.
Oh my god. Don't worry about it whatsoever. Like, it's so understandable all the stuff you do.
So before I came over this time, I took a page from Melusa's book and decided to make a list of everything. This way, it's easy to see which tasks you haven't checked off.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, since Melus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own.
I adore her. I adore her so much.
But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That's just another sweet thing about her. Oh my god.
That does sound like you, all right. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, want to take a look?
Sure.
Let Paimon see. Wait. There's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols.
Wait, do you remember things by writing symbols? Is that what?
This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other one, is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen.
Okay.
While the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Maybe we just use the standardized shorthand symbols next time. Maybe we write out each item next time. I think, you know, writing it out in the full text is fine.
Thank you for your advice. These are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've tried them out yourself.
Oh my god, Navi, you're working on the job. You are constantly working and learning on the job, and you're doing such a fantastic job anyway, so
I thought that as long
don't worry
as
about
I
it.
understood my shorthand when I came up with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them later. Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Can I give some like support to Navi here and say that like I have a notebook beside me, and basically whenever I need to make a cut, I will write down like what the cut was, and I had to like start being super specific because like I will like write down, say like sneeze. Well, I used to write down sneeze. I sneezed or something. Cut that. Right? But then I'm like, where? You know? Or then one time I think I wrote down like something like so it was I forget what the word was. It was some word that was like, you know, it was pretty reasonable once you thought of it. But I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's like, oh, I picked up a package at the door. Why did I write that? And I think I wrote like maybe like even the product that I got through the door or something. And like it was probably like in a very like shorthand way of just being like a weird, I don't know. It was like I totally understand Navia, because I even when I write down this stuff and it's not super specific, like 6 hours later I could forget exactly what everything on the list is personally.
Now you know for next time.
Anyway, I should have already taken
Navia's
care
smarter
of
than me
most
though,
of the
so
things on the list. There are still a few symbols that I can't decipher, but I don't think they're anything too super important. Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Yeah, I like the optimism.
So
honestly.
you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, Actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, want to come with me and check out the town
Heck
for
yeah.
yourself?
Heck yeah.
You said you don't have any plans, right? So we can just catch a boat and head over. It won't take long at
I'm
all.
so up for it. So up for it.
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, Traveler?
It'd be interesting to take a look. Yeah,
Then
100%.
let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the Aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat.
Oh my god.
Aquabus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so we'll use one of the Spina's boats.
Wait, so there's actually an option to not go on the boat with her?
All right, follow me. I'll take you there.
Would never happen. Would never happen in my opinion. You'd never see me not going on the boat.
The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks. We can head out as soon as we get the green light.
Sure.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 Aquabus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
Oh, that's really neat. That's really, really neat.
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson? Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat just to go home. Paimon doesn't get it.
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub, so there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson.
The infrastructure just didn't make sense, I guess.
You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The Aquabus is so convenient, it's really a huge shame.
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often struggled to figure out what was going on in his head.
It is a big part of the story, but something that big also wouldn't just have been just his call. Perhaps the rest of Spina didn't see the point of having a 4th line, maybe?
But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good luck getting him to change it.
I sometimes can like that in
From
someone,
what I've
you know?
heard, the rights of all the other members of the
For
Spina
sure.
only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions, and no farther. That included my mother, too.
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
It's a lot deeper as well. I know Paimon's just saying, like, you know, kind of like that's another part of his personality for sure that like maybe distanced themselves from each other. But of course, like there's so much that went into that relationship.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just not very agreeable.
Yeah, and like you know, Navia said that she always felt as though like she wasn't getting like all the full picture all the time when she was talking to him, like she was being left out.
Boss, the boat's ready.
Boss.
We can head out.
Every time they call her boss, the best thing ever.
All right, then let's
The boss.
head out.
This is gonna be an interesting quest because like we're starting off very like very chill, right? Very like oh, here we go. This is the start of it. Act 1. Rosa Multiflora Chapter 1.
It'll be a while.
Oh my god, we're
before we
actually on
get
the
to
boat with
Poisson.
Navia.
Let's keep talking.
Sure.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person?
Did we just shake our
I'm
head at Paimon?
sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her at all.
Yeah, and I think we can relate to Paimon and stuff like that slips out sometimes for sure.
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws.
That's super sweet. Super sweet. Look at this. Look at Navia. Made for the sunlight. The sun shines brighter when she leaves the house.
My father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the Spina could grow and thrive.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or intimate picture of her.
Right.
But sometimes
Wow,
I'd
look at
still
this place.
look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription. a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning.
That's actually so true.
I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea.
Right.
I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them and must continue to keep moving, the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward.
Yeah, I think it's such a really fantastic way of looking at it, because again, we were so down in the dumps with that stuff.
Always.
And yeah,
But no matter what, we can't change the past.
it's auto in the text, by the way, itself.
I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so many obstacles.
Navia,
Besides,
she's
I'm
incredible.
the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up.
Oh my god, even the voice acting is so perfect for her too. No, I'm so happy that we're back with Navia. I like hearing all this stuff as well, because she is someone who has overcome so much.
We've reached the shore. Let's go. I'll show you the new
The
poisson.
new poisson.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right?
Who knows? Are we thinking that maybe she seems to be managing? She always seems to have to cope with one. Yes, 110%. She always seems to has to be this way, right? She has to always deal with something. What if it's not one thing, it's another. I even said it before. Someone just like give Navia like the biggest W in history. You know what I mean? Please.
Okay, Paimon supposes you're right. She's really been through a lot. It couldn't have been easy shouldering so much by herself.
Yep. And especially losing, you know, our first time we met her was a quest about her father, really. The first chapter 2 was about her father, losing her father. Now she's talking about losing her mother. She also lost Silver and Melus as well, who were like, you know, family to her as well. Now, there's you know, there's obviously like whenever like, you know, a door closes, windows open as well in some cases, in some ways, you know, or windows closes, doors open. You know, she did make amends with both Clorand and Nervalette, and has a better relationship 110% have we seen with the Court of Fontaine, which is a fantastic thing. It's such a fantastic thing, but it doesn't make up for all the stuff. Again, she's like it's such a great way the traveler put it. There's always something she has to deal with, always. And the truth is, a lot of times in life, we will have to go through a lot of hardships. You know, Gandalf said that, you know, people don't choose to go through hardships. But then after that, even, you know, it's easy for Gandalf to say because he's in a movie, but you know, it's like, then we choose what to do with the time that we are given in those hardships. And by the way, that doesn't apply to absolutely everything, right? Of course, because he was talking about like Frodo and the Ring, you know what I mean? And it's a movie, right? You shouldn't take it literally, because I do believe that in some cases, like, yeah, that's such great advice, because it's like, yes, if you go through something, deciding exactly how you're going to get through it is a really great way of looking at it, right? But in some cases, things can be so freaking difficult that it's hard to even get through them anyway. But I always remember what Gandalf said that time, and it always hit me quite a bit. Not only do I think people have the right to be upset or complain or get angry,
You're back. Traveler and Paimon.
I encourage them to
Welcome
say it to
back
me.
Poisson.
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without any attendance.
Wow. I mean, Navia's super tough. Like, super, super tough. I'm not worried about her combat-wise in any way, shape, or form.
We did hand over some of Melus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
Yeah. And I think even Melus and Silver knew with Navia as well. They were there for advice and for, like, you know, little things that she definitely need help. Because everyone needs help with some stuff, you know what I mean? It's 100% okay to take help from people. But, like, she's, like, so capable. And I think that was one of the main storylines that we had in this, which was, like, she was feeling as if, like, in some cases when we were trying to keep some information, not intentionally trying to be like, hey, don't worry about this. We're just trying to keep her, like, you know, safe. The whole idea in her head, you know, you could see in her eyes was like, I don't think you understand. Yes, I've gone through a lot, but like I'm so powerful. You know what I mean? I am. And she is. She really is, you know?
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson.
Good. Really good.
Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to
I can
fill.
imagine. He always chimed in with some of the best advice you could hear.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without knowing the design that we want to use first.
So what statue are you making?
You're commissioning a statue?
Yeah, of who?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of everything they've done for
Right,
the Spina
okay,
and the town
okay.
of Poisson. But since my father was known as Callus the Unfaithful for the longest time, it would have been too controversial to commission a statue of him.
And now that his name is free.
But now that his name has been
Yeah.
cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt, I thought this would be the perfect chance to actually realize this dream.
Her voice, the voice actor for Navia is perfect. They're so perfect. Like I like the natural way they speak, like, and they've like completely become Navia, right? Like it's so good.
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson.
Whoa, okay.
To show their appreciation for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callus and everything they did.
Shouldn't Navia be? It wonders me. Shouldn't it just be a big statue of Navia?
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble.
No, the world has caused you trouble, and you've done so amazing to get through that trouble. That's what has happened. F this world.
Maybe we can have this conversation again in a few decades, once I've done more for the town and the people.
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
Yes, she did. And if I was like the richest person in the world, I would totally like, build bribe people to build a statue of Navi in every country.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey,
That's so sweet.
if
That's
you
so
keep
sweet.
inflating my ego like this, I might just float off into the sky with my parasol.
See, and you're funny too. And you're funny as well. She's funny, she's charming, and she's smart, and she's powerful, and she's all this stuff. Stop the glazing, Calvin. No, I will not. I will not. I will not.
Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minimum, I'd have to match what my father did for the people.
Okay. Well, if that's what you think, it'll only be a matter of time. Yeah, I think that she's done so much already, but I feel like it's actually like a very healthy mindset to have, to not want to have a statue of yourself. I think that's like actually like a green flag in a way. IMO.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think I'm ready
Yeah,
yet.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Again, I think it's a big green flag to not want a statue of yourself, to be
Anyway,
honest.
Laurent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callus. But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
There's no need for all that. Let's decide on a design right now. Hey, you! Come over here with me.
Sure. I do like that this is why she's one of the best leaders that you could have for the Spina de Rosula, is that like she's just very much like a let's do that now. Let's work on that now. Let's figure that out now. Let's meet up and do this now. You know, that's pretty good. Me?
Modeling a few poses.
Oh
of
my god,
course.
yes.
Here, just pretend to be Callus, and I'll be Clementine.
Oh, that's sweet. That's so sweet.
Didn't you say on the boat that Callus and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill this role than my most valuable partner.
I'm like clenching my fist in happiness.
Florent, let's grab some reference shots.
You've got it, boss. I'll go get the camera.
We're getting the camera. I'm up for it. So do we get to choose the pose or what's happening here?
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas?
Oh my god. Shouldn't you be running this show?
Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. It's probably because my idea of them is already kind of set in stone.
Okay, so you want it from an outside perspective.
So, I want to pick your brain for a bit and see if you can come up with some new and interesting ideas.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
Every time they call her boss. Okay, let's try something imposing. Let's try something looking out in the distance. Why don't we strike a happy pose? Looking out into the distance maybe might be nice. Why don't we just strike a happy pose? Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't think imposing is what we need for the Spina de Rosula. I think, like, maybe something look out in the distance seems kind of like we're looking towards the future. We could try that, right? I think that's kind of cool. Looking out into the future, looking towards what's to come.
By that, do you mean
Okay.
as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure. Let's give
Excitement in
that
her
a
voice.
try.
That sounds good too. Oh my god, that's awesome. Look at that. Best partners ever.
Whoa, you really remind Paimon of a captain and their first mate.
She's the captain.
Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every tree on that island is dripping with mora fruit.
Oh my god, Paimon.
But there's something off with the composition. This pose makes Mr. Callus look too tall next to the lady.
Paimon fully capable of doing a deeper voice is always so funny to me.
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
Sure. Oh my god. I love them so much.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.
Yeah, and Paimon's voice actor is fantastic too.
But we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat. This statue is meant to be placed in the town.
But then, since we're putting it in the town, the whole
Yeah.
point of the pose would be lost.
I thought looking into the future, but I guess looking out to the sea is what they intended.
Oh, okay. We'll try to think of something else.
Then let's try a happy pose. Let's try the happy pose.
Happy pose. You mean something like we were laughing together at a funny joke?
Yeah. Oh my, oh my heart is gonna melt this whole freaking story quest.
Would all that be able to come through with just a picture?
So we're doing
Would we
imposing.
even be able to tell what they are supposed to be laughing
I
about?
love Paimon's giving tips as well. Deserved. She needs to.
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to sculpt as well.
Could one of you try striking a pose like you're talking while the other one laughs?
I love Director Paimon. Detective Paimon, Director Paimon. It all works. Oh, this is so sweet.
That actually sounds pretty hard to pull off. Forget it. Let's try something
I guess we'll
else.
try imposing.
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
Sure. Oh my god. Buddy cop. Buddy cop story. Their own movie.
This pose, it makes me recall Spina de Rosula's glorious golden age.
Yeah?
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too bold and heroic? Was she really that kind of person? If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually the real boss behind the scenes.
Maybe she was.
Well, tabloids did indeed speculate
Yeah,
as much
there we
back
go.
in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings and made both the report and the journalist disappear.
What? What did you do?
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
Paimon, you know, you know if anyone even tried to make you disappear, they'd be gone forever.
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias.
Okay, that was a weird way to say it though. That was as weird as F. We made them disappear. They changed their name.
You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something else.
Oh my god. Oh, the sunglasses. I just love them because they are like just like best friends. They really are. They're like the best of friends.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right.
Ah,
Paimon's all out of brain juice
the
now.
glasses is enough for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a souvenir in their
Yeah,
own right.
I think it's a great way of looking
Let's
at
just
it.
keep the ideas we tried as backups. Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the Traveler, I would have prepared a lot of outfits and props ahead of time.
This is what's crazy. I always forget that we're like famous and people like are like, oh, I'm gonna get to like take a picture with the Traveler, and like we have and people respect us so much. They do. They respect us so much. But like from my perspective, like I look at all these characters, especially Navia, as like I get to take a picture with Navia.
Oh, outfits! That's the errand I forgot back in the city. Do either of you still remember that girl? The girl I went to see with you two. Her name is Adele.
Right?
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met
Yeah.
while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
She always believed her father, Jacques, was a good person.
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after the case, she was finally willing to talk to me. And she told me that she wanted to join the Spina too.
Okay.
I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years, and then we'll welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently. But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? In the end, I came up with an idea. I'd have a Spina uniform made and give it to her as
That's
a
very
gift.
sweet. That is very, very sweet. It's like giving someone like an honorary I don't know, like it's like when, you know, a kid gets like one of those certificates from like, I don't know, like what you call those things? I'm blanking on the names. They get like those certificates, like you are an honorary fireman or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know, those type of things.
But I got so busy and distracted in the city that I forgot to pick the uniform up.
I'll get it.
So I did forget something important after all.
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick it up right away.
I'll do it. Let me do it.
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few more ideas for the design. I'll have to trouble you to source some for me.
We could have just done that from the start.
Hey, at least this way we got some cool pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They'll have some
No,
value
the
in
picture
souvenirs
to
at
me,
least.
the pictures to me are amazing. I'm gonna remember them for the rest of my life.
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Colt, are you? You look like you're. Yeah, it's the same outfit as Silver and Malus.
Huh? But aren't you
Supposed
supposed
to be what?
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter.
Oh.
Back already from the Fortress of Meripede?
Okay, so he was in the fortress. So I wonder what that's about.
That's right. I finally finished serving my time. Gotta say, turns out I was a lot tougher than I thought.
Yeah, and like it's not, even though like we like the fortress as like a place we like to visit, it is a tough place sometimes.
After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar briny smell became a primal call, urging me to forget everything else and just come back home. You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time I had to get a welfare meal down there underneath the sea.
It's good to have you back, Coulter. You look as well as ever.
And this guy is?
Let me introduce you. This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. He was found guilty and sentenced to the Fortress of Meripede some time ago.
What did he do?
But, looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots
Okay.
while he worked
Yep.
in the Confrérie of Cabrières.
I won't trust you.
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What do you mean? He was involved in some
Oh
sort of
no, you don't
plot?
even know.
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Not even the rumors. There was rumors in like Act 4 about all this stuff in the prison, right?
Well, I know
guess
that Fontaine got flooded, but then
Yeah,
the
there
water
we go.
levels miraculously receded. I thought that was all there was to it and didn't care to ask for any more details. Do you mean Mr. Marcel was somehow involved with all that?
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. That case, a lot of things
That's
have happened
insane.
in
It's
Poisson
so
since
crazy
then.
that you like would like it happens, right? You come back into the real world and you're like, wait, that happened? This happened?
First things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my most trusted partners.
Oh my God.
And they've been with me through thick and thin.
Yeah.
Now you could call them Spina di Rosula's VIP
Heck yeah.
helpers.
Heck yeah. Whatever you want to call us, Navia. Honestly, like no, every time she calls us partners or like anything like that, like it means the world to me.
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before. So you must be pretty amazing to get that from her.
Yeah, I don't take it for granted, Colt here.
Pretty amazing. But we've been cool since before we even met her.
We just followed all credit to Paimon. That's it. Let's give Paimon something.
Wait, now you suddenly resist taking a dig at Paimon?
Paimon, if I could compliment you every second, I would.
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people.
Guys, I can't tell him not to clap him in front of Navia. I can't embarrass her.
Oh, that reminds me. Where
Oh,
are Malus
no.
and Silver? Aren't they always by
Are
your
you
side?
serious? It's just a constant twisting of the knife for Navia.
About that.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see, even Poisson isn't quite the same as how it was before you left.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the
Yeah.
flood.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid welcome
Why
home
would you joke
prank,
about that?
right?
Why would you joke about
You're
that?
just scaring me on purpose because I don't know anything about what's happened.
She wouldn't joke with that. And I understand from his perspective, he's probably hoping it's a joke. I think that's probably what he's hoping for.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They weren't the only people we lost either. Many others, including Melissa. Also
So many.
lost their
Remember that
lives in the
long
disaster.
list?
Luce and Melissa, dead. They're just gone.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, another knife and Navia's twisting the knife again and Navia have to explain this again. From his perspective, like, this is probably like horrible to learn about this when you come out of prison for the first time, that all these people are gone.
Luce. I was planning to give him a surprise gift once I ran into him again in town. I can't believe it.
Hey, keep it together.
It's tough. This is tough. Imagine learning about this stuff when you get out of prison.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina. I can understand how he feels.
Let's sit down somewhere, so I can tell you everything that has happened while you were gone. Fair warning, there was a lot.
The recounting of the stories, oh, how tough, man.
Okay.
And of course, Navi being like an absolutely fantastic leader as well, right? Because here's the thing, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like we would like totally like, you know, always be like, oh yeah, if you don't want to do, you don't have to do it. But the thing is like, Navia has taken this quest up, and like she has definitely taken lead of the Spina de Rosula so freaking well, to the point that she is like very much like showing how great of a leader she is and how greatly respected she is. And I think even though like, you know, the whole thing with the statue, like I totally agree, like it's such a green flag for her not to want a statue. Her taking up this thing where it's like, I'll explain what happened, I'll do this, is her being the leader. It's her being a leader. And I think she's actually doing a really fantastic job of it. Even if it hurts, even if it's something personal, she's taken that up. And I respect the heck out of her all the time when I see her here, how well she does with the Spina, how well she's always done with the Spina de Rosula, and how respected she is by many other people as well. It's so respectful. It's so respectable, I should say. Look at Poisson, man. Such a crazy, beautiful place. Navi explains everything that happened recently to Coulter.
All of this, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that those stories were real. It all really happened. Has the world gone mad?
Had I not personally experienced all those events, I would have also found them very difficult to accept. Yes, it's crazy. Like, so much stuff happened that like, it's hard to even process.
You and I both feel the same way
Yeah?
about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss. And the sheer depravity of Marcel's actions.
Yes, insane. And it's even worse when you've realized that it was torture. Like, it wasn't just this thing where like, because at first I think we were kind of like, when Marcel, we were like, oh, like, you know, like what he did was horrible and irredeemable. But then like we were also trying to like learn from the perspective of why he did it, and like, oh, he like lost no one would believe him that this thing was happening, right? Because we were even the buddy one, I want to say it was like, even at that point he was irredeemable. And then it came to a point where it was like, oh, I don't even need to understand like his feelings behind it, because like not only like was he doing all this stuff, he was torturing. It was torture, emotional and horrid torture that we learned that this happened. We learned this in Farina's story quest. Marcel is a purely evil character. Purely evil. And originally we were like, irredeemable what he did, but it's clear he lost his mind completely, right? And like, that's what's happened. Like, and it's like, but it's still irredeemable and we don't forgive it whatsoever. It turned into, not only is it irredeemable, it's just like, no, like his actions were like, not only evil, they were just like pure, unadulterated, like disgustingly horrible. Couldn't even look at him in the eye again. Couldn't even look at the victims' families in the eye again. Evil.
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. Everything he had, the Spina gave to him. It's unconscionable to have received all that, and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve you for his insane
We
research.
literally read a notebook. We read a notebook on that disgusting man that he, like, there was literally, like, the women who were in, like, who were trapped were watching as I can't even repeat it. Disgusting. Purely evil.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing and
Yeah,
distribution
that's a consolation
network.
that is very small.
We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeo.
Romeo?
Romu?
Paimon turning to Navia, because she's the boss.
Not a name I've heard before
Okay.
either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the Aquabus lines. Romeo was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast sum of mora would be better spent improving the town of Poisson. But Mr. Callis believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the Court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute was hard to come by, and would allow us to build many valuable relationships. Not only would the Aquabus be a good business investment, it would also boost our reputation among the general populace, eventually paying us massive dividends down the line.
This is such an interesting thing as well, having someone come back who used to work with the Spina, like, in the past as well. Like, it's nice having that touch there as well that was lost when Silver and Malus left, I guess.
But
left
the
this
two couldn't
world, you know
come
what I
to an
mean?
Agreement. Romeo ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spino di Rosula altogether, and the split was on extremely
Wow.
bad terms.
Man, like, when an organization splits up, it can be brutal, especially when it's over ideals of something like as serious as this.
And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone
You
down.
probably aren't getting negotiations.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help in the least.
Yeah, you could say it was the price he paid for sticking to his beliefs.
That could have been the first time it feel like that happened, right?
Oh, that's a good point. If Callis was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have argued with the rank and file all the time?
Oh yeah, it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia, I mean, boss.
Really nice writing touch there.
You might not know this, but he wasn't always
Like how,
that.
like, because Navia wasn't the boss, right? Or was she? No, she probably was. Maybe she was the boss when he left, but maybe. If not, like, I guess, like, maybe, like, she wasn't, like, didn't have her foothold in yet, and, like, it's a really nice touch him being like, Navia, I mean, sorry, boss, you know, correcting himself.
He used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side, it was pretty smooth sailing for a good many years.
Right.
But on the matter of the Aquabus, even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr. Callis's side.
I never knew. But from my perspective, Romeo's position had a lot going for it. Couldn't they have sat down and talked it out?
I think the Aquabus was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay, there was already
On
pressure.
that topic, they eventually came to a rather radical conclusion. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial
Oh.
mediator when she became pregnant with Callus's child.
Okay,
So they thought she had betrayed them?
this is a very touchy subject. Oh my god.
But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mother was also her own person, and a member of the Spina. She should have the right to take any side
And
she
I agree,
wished.
and I 100% agree. Like, of course she's her own when she can make her own decisions. It sounded as well that she still, like, clashed with Callus many a time. You know, agreeing with him on one decision isn't like isn't the end of the world. But I wonder from their perspective, were they like, well, they're together now. Like how can they be totally impartial? You know what I mean? Maybe if like, you know, maybe if there was more conversations that were happening here.
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. They felt like their voices could no longer be heard once their sole
Right.
mediator
They
had
felt
gone
voiceless
over
at
to
that
the
stage, I
other
suppose.
side.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callis began to regard the completion of the Aquabus project as her
Oh my
final
God.
wish. With that, the last hope of reconciliation.
So he was like, yeah, no,
gone.
it's getting built no matter what. It's getting built no matter what.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeu and his people cut ties with the Spina, and never gave us any kind of professional or personal courtesy ever again. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no proof that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
Right.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
This is interesting. I think this is such an interesting story point, having a rift in the Spina. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, because we've met so many loyal characters to the Spina, and then also people who like did, you know, from the outside who like were supposed to be loyal to the Spina and Navia, but like kind of like betrayed her. Having a rift within an organization like this is always such an interesting story beat.
I think Coulter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeu had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeu's whereabouts. If they're still trying to get revenge on us...
Especially with all the stuff that's happened to Poisson, you don't want them to strike when stuff is about to be like prepared and fixed.
With how distracted and vulnerable we are. Now
Exactly.
would be the
Yes.
best time.
Yes. It'd be like, again, you're on the defensive. You were not even on the defensive. You were in a position where you were like backed against the wall. You're like, you know, not you're like wounded animals at this stage.
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times. I'll let my men know
Such
right
an interesting
away.
story.
Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter, thank you for telling me about this as well.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? How about we go out for a walk?
I'm about to pull a Godfather on this, you know. They are my Navia is my most trusted confidant. Whatever she hears, I can hear too.
I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down.
Okay, no,
even
sorry.
now.
Yeah, that's my bad.
I mean, to think that I'll just never see them again.
In that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. It'll save Laurent's guys a trip.
This is the little things, man, with Navia being the boss, right? She is the boss. And it's why we have so much, like, undying faith in her as well. Like, this little thing. It's a tiny thing, right? Can we go for a walk? And she goes, okay, then let's go to the court. Save Florent a trip. We'll pick up the outfit on the way. And she's doing all these little things at once while helping out somebody, too.
Want to come with me again, you two? You don't mind, do you, Coulter?
Oh, of course. That's fine
Okay,
by me.
that's fair enough.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this visit.
We want to see Adele cheer up.
We really are the best
yeah.
of partners. Come on, let's go.
And that's the thing. It's like one of those things. If Navia said to me, like, you know, hey, I want to go, like, hey, I'm just going to be alone with Coulter for a bit. Like, it wouldn't be one of those situations where I'm like, no. Like, you know, because I really feel like she is really trying her darned hardest. I don't know why Warrior could have just walked up here. To really, like, you know, become that leader that they need here. You know, she really is. And she's already done a fantastic job. Like, I feel like she's already so respected. And again, I think that we saw that with those little tiny things, right? With Navi being like, hey, like, we'll pick up the outfit on the way, we'll do this, we'll do that. Taking advice from Coulter, all this stuff, and being the one to break the news to Coulter, too, about all the horrible stuff that happened, even though it's stuff that affected her as well. These are...
Taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time
Yeah.
to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip. Once we're there, we can stay a few days before we return.
That's nice.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Yeah, it's like, it's a small thing. It's a super, super, super small thing sometimes. Sometimes it's a bigger thing, like the Coulter thing, or a smaller thing, like, hey, let's take a walk in the Court of Fontaine. But Navia shows over and over again why she is just more than capable of taking this job, and why she is going to be, and again, I know in her heart, she's probably thinking, like, you know, I have to, like, live up to my father, I have to live up to the idea of the Silver Malus, the idea of, like, you know, what these people want of me and think of me. She made some fantastic decisions during that time with the you know, even, I know, like, you know, it's not her fault that what happened with Poisson, the way the waters rose up, but she made some incredible decisions. Even if, like, you know, some people might disagree with working with the Fatui, but that decision saved probably many more people. It probably rescued many more people as well. In the end, she was one of those people on the ground rescuing people, just like the House of the Hearth was as well. She was doing so much there, just like Risey was. It really is like that scene. I get chills thinking about it because it was like everyone in Fontaine and everyone like from Fontaine really coming together regardless of what organization they were part of. The Fortress of Mirrorpeed was helping. The Spina de Rosula was helping. You know what I mean? And here's the thing as well. Like, you know, you could say that, like, you know, the Archon, Farina, was also helping in a way too. It's just that her help was not known to anybody because of the situation that she was in, and she couldn't tell us what was happening either, you know, or confide in us about that stuff. It really was an amazing moment for Fontaine.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my work down in the fortress was.
Oh my god,
quite
yeah,
the
that, like
workout.
all the stuff you had to do with like the machines and stuff, yeah.
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods, then catch a boat to the court. Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass.
Oh my god.
And when we were hungry, we'd catch a fish or two. The Spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callus was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich. So, of course, we all worked really hard.
Yeah, so that confirms it, by the way, that, like, of course, that's why he was like, Navia, I mean boss, you know, and he's being very respectful about it. Like, he obviously sees Callus as, like, the boss, you know, or in his mind would always be like the boss, you know?
And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen into disuse.
I don't really think that's a bad thing, though.
Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
Fair enough.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh my god. The amount of snacks that Navia has given us, we can call her the queen of snacks as well, you know? The queen of, like, queenness. Giving us snacks whenever we need them.
Oh, is this another chance to try some
Yeah.
of Navia's macarons? Paimon's been dreaming of them.
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more.
Heck yeah.
Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and Silver used to take care of tasks like this.
Love this. Absolutely. Again, in terms of writing, I don't love it in terms of the emotions behind it, you know what I mean? In terms of writing, it's superb. It's like, again, it's just a tiny little thing.
Okay, the stove's looking good. And as for the ingredients, seems like we're all out of flour and sugar. The two most important ingredients of
Wanna
all.
go get some?
Oh, would you? Oh, but it would be too much to ask you to go on a trip.
We got
just
this
for
secret
those.
thing, Navia, that we can warp anywhere.
We should contribute to making the macarons
Yeah.
too. Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so he should have some stuff.
We
on
actually might
hand.
have that stuff.
Oh, that's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long as we have some sweet flowers and wheat, I can start the baking.
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for a makeshift table and chairs.
Great. Then I'll prep the
Great.
stove. Let's get to work, everyone.
Listen to the way she says great.
Great. Then great. Then great.
So good. The voice actor's so good. Yeah, no, like that little thing there, right? Because of course she's gonna have like little things that she's used to have some other people helping her with, right? What I love really about that line there, it's such a simple line of like, you know, and it hit me so hard just so because it's like, oh my god, that's like just great. Just great writing, right? It's like the idea of like Navia being like, oh, the Silver and Malus used to do this, right? Because that's a thing that happens. You don't realize until someone's gone. They're like, oh, that person used to do this, yeah, for me. Oh, okay, yeah. But I love in this case that it's not used as, it's like a thing where it's like she wants to be, obviously, like, you know, the reason probably why she doesn't just get another attendant is because she probably wants to figure out a lot of stuff by herself. But I also love that it's not used as an excuse to like not ask for help from us either, because like we're still friends, you know, and we can still like help each other with stuff, whether it's wheat, whether it's sweet flowers. It's a really sweet way of looking at it. I like it a lot.
Ah, how did it go? Did you find
I
the
probably have like a
ingredients?
bunch of them. Yeah, 100%. Do you want to take more? Make as much as you want. Make 15 for Paimon if she needs them.
You've all done your part. Just leave the rest to me.
Sure thing.
Whoa, these
Oh, and a makeshift table.
taste magnificent. Your cooking is as good as ever, Navia.
Magnificent, great.
Boss's baking skills have always been famous. Everyone in the Spina knows how exceptionally talented
Look
she
how
is.
pretty they are.
Oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need to praise me for it like that.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts you with all her heart, so...
You really want to poach you for the Avengers Guild, huh?
Was it that obvious? I just thought you would be a great fit.
The funny thing
that's
is
all.
like, we'll help Navia whenever she needs it as well, as evident today, you know, if she needs anything. So it's like, you get to have all the benefits of having us in the Spina, while also like not having to like actually have to worry about us in the Spina.
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been quite a while since we last spent
That's awesome.
time
Talk with the
together.
passage of time.
Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down.
Oh my gosh, she's such a great person. She understands the world so much sometimes, doesn't she? Like, she's so... This is why she's going to be such a great leader.
Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite sides of
Navia's
the world.
110% right.
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's macaroni.
Yeah, and the macarons as well, but like, I for sure...
I understand now. Then I am very lucky indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you.
You seem really nice.
I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter, and enjoy every moment we spend together.
No, you seem great. You're a great addition to the story. You've been fantastic.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water in celebration of this
Yes.
moment.
What's that? Yeah. I thought I heard something just now. Was it some small critter?
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick, join in on
Okay, yeah. We'll see it as just maybe some small animal.
May your travels go smoothly. May the Spina continue to grow. And may our friendship last until
Look at
the
the
end
seed.
of time.
Yeah. No, you're right. She's fantastic.
All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
Okay. Just so you know, if they're watching, they know what I was going to do. That brown grass is the essence of their life now. Yeah, it's such a sweet scene. Such a sweet scene. Let's go get this now. We're still all flamed up after all the stuff that happened. Then I just said guillotine for a second. Like I thought Elaine would come back. I was like, what? Let's go get this outfit.
Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
The Demoiselle of Spina de Rosula.
Oh,
I
Damoiselle.
must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going bankrupt.
Wow. Holy hell.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. No, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
Is she the boss?
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her Demoiselle.
If someone will call me Demoiselle.
Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
But Demoiselle is for girls, isn't it? Yeah. What's it, Monsieur? Call me Monsieur. But Demoiselle sounds so much cooler than Monsieur. So cooler.
I didn't expect Demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things
Yep.
seriously.
And I think that's why she does so well.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads.
Yeah, but I think you do. I think you're, again, she's very not good at taking praise, I think. And it's a character trait probably because she feels like she has to do a lot of this stuff. She is like, you know, she worries about a lot of the smaller things. You know, as we said, the cracks.
There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has got a point. Going on a trip with friends is always better than staying cooped up at home.
Who's that watching? Who is that watching over there? Who do you think you are?
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform.
There's a guy in red watching us over there, Navia. There's a guy in red watching us over there. Or maybe not. Maybe I
Can
just...
someone remind Paimon again why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up
Makes
to me.
perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. It reminds you of someone like if they saw like a magic show they want to become, you know, like Linny, you know what I mean? They see, you know, Navi doing all this stuff and of course they want to become Navia.
After we
Or, like,
cleared
not
her
like
father's
Navia.
name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a bad person. She said she used
This
to
dude.
be terrified of Papa. So, as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well. But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her.
Yeah, the two of you have dealt with the same stuff?
Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
Yes. Oh my god, Navia was so active. In like chapter 2, Navia just going for everything, right? And I feel like Navia's also that person where it's like once she knows that she has people that do support her as well, she's like so gung-ho about a lot of stuff. She opens up a lot about a lot of stuff. She's fantastic in that way.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
Come on. Like, I agree with this by the way, but I'm just looking at this guy who's watching us. He's dressed like a freaking red cherry. Like, I could see him from a mile away. So what? Yeah, he's following us all the way from back there. Like, it's so great hearing the story about this little girl, but all I can see in the back is just this guy watching us.
Is something up, Traveler?
Follow me, someone's tailing us.
Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
So, and I love, by the way,
Paimon saw them too. They headed up.
oh, they're there.
Stop right there!
All three of them? I love, by the way, that we have smart protagonists. I freaking love it. You know what I mean? I freaking love it. Smart character. Okay, you're done. You're done. You know what I mean? Characters that like notice this stuff, you know, and then actually notice someone watching us and can hear someone watching us. It's so good. It's so good.
We knew you were going to be difficult.
You guys would be difficult. You made it so obvious.
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a
Oh my god,
lesson
with
first.
Navia, with Navia.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark
Brothers.
anymore. Let's take them out.
You weren't even skulking in the dark. You were dressed like a red freaking. You're dressed like a Bloody Mary, like drink. I could see you from 10 miles away. You were not in the dark. You literally were like it was like after Violet Beauregard, you ate the freaking cherry one. You could see you from a mile away. Oh my god, we get to use Navia. So let's see what we can do. So I guess like I guess we can put up a shield probably, but let's just use Navia as well though. So freaking sick. It's just literally shooting people with an umbrella. Look at that. It's insane.
Now, talk. Who are you?
Look at this
And
angle of
why
us
were you
standing over him
tailing
as
us?
well.
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
Yeah, we got people above. We got people up above and down below as well. Yeah, we know people in the fortress. Come on, dude. You wanted to fight?
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
No, there was no way. Navia destroyed these guys. 2 seconds.
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you were sorely mistaken.
Navia's shotgun umbrella is so brutal though. It really felt like I was like I was shooting someone with a shotgun. It's so unexpected in Genshin.
Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula.
How young are you? How young are you?
We were discovered and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Okay. You were discovered, you ran, and then you tried to fight.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much.
I would advise you to count. I love when we do like the tough, not just being like, oh, we're tough guys, but I love when we're not just like, okay, calm down. It's like, I would advise you right now to calm down.
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day.
So silly of you. How young are you, and who are you taking up the mantle for?
Too bad you guys messed up ours first.
You're lying.
Huh?
You followed us all the way here. There's more to this. I love this. Is what I'm talking about. I love the more, like, and again, it's not aggression, but it's more like seriousness sometimes, where it's like, and he does it. It's been happening more and more, where it's like, no, you followed us here. I know you did.
You're pretty sharp, but so what? We didn't do anything, and now it should be pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway.
Brother, here's the problem with what you're saying here. Okay, you followed us all the way here. You were hiding behind the wall. When we tried to talk to you, you tried to fight us, and you got your arse beat. So what? Dude, you started this.
Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
Okay, so you're a bunch of lads who are drinking, and you're probably hyping each other up when you're drinking, which again, no excuse for trying to attack people. But that's what happened. I know for a fact, and I can picture it in my head. They took everything, all this stuff, like argued about it, like, we should do something, right? And that's just so silly.
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me,
great leadership.
I'd be happy to meet with him.
Yep, because at this point, like, it's like she's giving them, like, it's a new leadership. She's giving them all the leeway in the book.
I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand. Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
Yep, and take this as a lesson. A lesson.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time.
Heck yeah.
Understood?
I think that's so fair.
All
That's
right.
more than fair.
We get it. Come on, let's go.
Like, if I were you, if I saw the umbrella getting pulled out again, I'd run. No, that was such a good interaction.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
I think she's trying to put her best foot forward with this stuff.
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. And moreover, when it comes to the Aquabus, I don't think what my father did was entirely correct either.
Right, and that's okay. And that's why I was saying, like, how young are those guys there as well? Because are they also inheriting grudges from people as well?
If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation.
Yes.
Opportunities for new beginnings are all
I think that's
around
such a
us.
fantastic way of looking at it, Navia.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's Spina di Rosula.
If that's the way, again, I think we should also always say there's circumstances. There's circumstances even in this game where you're like, well, no, it's like sometimes you need to fight. Sometimes you need to have a bit of to fight things out. Sometimes you need to cut people off and do all this stuff. Sometimes, but in this situation, I really feel like it is like two sides inheriting a grudge that probably could be sorted out today by the younger members of both organizations, or it doesn't even have to be younger members, just the members of each organization, especially since there's new management in the Spina di Rosula.
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk. I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeo's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
100%. And I love the way you handled it. You said, hey, we will talk, but if it comes to violence again, we will handle this.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans
Not at all.
of yours.
Not at all.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time we were all a part of the Spina di Rosula family.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already. So why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow. I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter.
Look at this.
And inform him of everything that happened here today. So he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Perfect.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Sonda again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
We loved it at one point because it felt very safe though, right?
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same though, so I've long since gotten used to it.
I think it's cozy.
We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks though. Bet you there'll be people singing sea shanties too. How does that sound?
Sounds so fun.
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing.
And we know she can't sing. No, you see all the little solutions that she has? Like all the tiny little solutions to like different situations that are just and she just offer, even like in like this, she's like, I'll write a letter back to him to let him know what happened. We'll come here and come back in the morning. We'll sort this out then, and that's it. And even with Paimon being like, I don't really want to stay there. It's like seaweed. It smells like seaweed here. She sorts that out too. She's like, hey, well, look, it's just how things are. How about we go out for some fish and some drinks too? Like these little tiny things that make her just a really great boss. That whole situation was like, is so interesting as well. The whole conversation about like, you know, grudges from the past being held by, because again, it does seem like they were a little bit younger in my book, maybe. And it seems like as well, like, even though they, you know, there are rights to grudges. I want to make that perfectly clear. Some grudges, people have rights to have grudges. They do. And sometimes it can eat you alive, but sometimes it's like, yeah, you're totally right in this situation. But I do love the approach of like, hey, we're both like inheriting, you know, stuff from the past. Let's try and figure this out for the future. It's so cozy to me. This place is, I know it probably smells like heck crazy, but it's so cozy to me.
Here really does feel like this place is starting to grow
Yeah,
on Paimon.
it's super cozy to me. It's probably freezing.
If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Marmonia.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always made him stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep, and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm at it. You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Sandra? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right
Look at
now.
their face as well, like.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able
She's
to
only
sleep
joking.
at
She's
all.
not gonna actually do that. Yeah.
I was just
She would never do
kidding.
that.
Be on your way now.
Sit inside and wait for the banquet. Sit inside and wait for the banquet. Yeah, like I think they're doing this in such a fantastic way. And I knew this was going to be a great quest. I knew Navi's just like a great character, my MVP. So we just sit inside here with it? Yeah. It's so good. Anywhere or just here? Look for the objective in this area? Here? Yes. A specific seat. You enjoy a fantastic meal as well as a wonderful performance. A boisterous... Oh, okay. Slowly things I doubt you're trying to bring up Paimon, but soon you hear a knock on the door.
Hello? Are you asleep yet?
Navia?
Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest.
Navia knocks on the door and asks to like have a nice night out on the town. You just hears me like falling over the place as I'm putting like on my clothes, face slamming into the ground. Paimon, calm down.
Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Sure.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
Through the door, Paimon's voice, and there's the Navia, the famous Navia smile.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything.
Since the invitation's come for you.
I knew it. You really are my best partner.
Every time she says it, it fills me with like serotonin and dopamine. I get a dopamine rush.
Let's go. To the fishing
Like I said, by
spot.
the way, I don't care. Like, if anyone's like, oh, like, you know, you praise her too much, or like you glaze her too much. I'm just saying this right now. I'm saying this right now, guys. I do not care. All right? Like, if there's a definition of a comfort character, she's one of them. All right? If there is that. And I never used to know what that was. But if there's someone who just brings me, like, you know, happiness and makes me feel happy, while also making me feel like a crazy amount of emotions as well through her story too, this is that character. Every time I see her, I'm filled with joy. She's just one of my favorite characters across all media. So I'm never going to apologize for that whatsoever. Whatsoever. Fish with Navia. You hell yeah. Up above? Like, it's so crazy with Navia. We are traveling like crazy here. That's not where we want to go. Well, we could try actually come out of the water here. Or we could go from here. It's probably a better idea. Yeah, it's just a really, like, interesting quest so far. And I think what they're doing really well with it. Oh, yeah, will I show you... We can, well, I guess we can, because we're going to be using Navi again in any fight, but I don't know if this is the best option to show you how I've been using Hu Tao. Like, look at this. And I've leveled up her talents too, which, like, the last time I used her, she was still doing so good, even without her talents leveled. She's just really fantastic. She's really good, and she's like, and again, spear users, like, have always been, like, one of my favorite characters to use. And actually, I should say as well, I've also improved Xiao. So Xiao will be the next, on the next team will be a Xiao team we'll be using. I've improved his artifacts, and he's not perfect, right? But, like, he is a lot better than he was before. And before, like, Xiao was in the era of a character, again, Xiao was, like, you know, my favorite Genshin character, I would say, right? Like, he's in that top 5 as well. And I think when we got him, it was the era of, like, I was using any artifacts whatsoever on the character. And then not only that, I was like, when we got to start using 5-star artifacts, you guys know, I was just putting whatever 5-star artifacts from those sets that I could put on them. But I actually went back and, like, earned a few more artifacts for him. And I think that he's actually, like, doing way better now. And I'd actually love to show you guys the new Xiao. I really would. So we'll do that next time. The next episode is going to be a reaction to an event. That's tomorrow. And then after next week will probably be like, we're going to be doing, again, we're going through all the world quests we're doing. We're going through the story quests. We're going through all this stuff. So it's going to take a bit of time, but it's still very, very fun to do. Oh yeah, and we have Sean Young on the team, obviously, like, because I think I said it because I want to make Xing Shou feel... But look at this animation. Again, I want to just point this out, yeah, to make Xing Shou feel like, you know, he has, you know, someone here for him as well. Not that, like, you know, we weren't here for them, you know what I mean? It's nice to have someone here, even though, because I think this spot on the team is not, I'm not saying needed, I think that's very, because once we level Shang Yung, we could use his, like, ice to do stuff as well. But it's kind of like this, right? Like, this animation is fantastic. The way he, like, the sword holds him up for a second, it's so cool. It's such a cool animation. Yeah, so it's not like it's not needed, because yeah, usually it's like water, shield, Hu Tao, right? And then I start going crazy on this stuff, right? And you see the little bit of healing that is given from Xing Shou. But really, we don't really need to heal all that much with Hu Tao. And really, with the shield, we should just be shielding constantly. That's my take anyway. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be. We're going to be using Xiao next time, next week. For another party.
Fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod.
It's like Spina fishing.
Mm-hmm. What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, you know, attentively watching the float and then excitedly reeling in the catch when you finally hook something?
I'm like totally on board with whatever way we're fishing, to be honest.
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler?
I don't mind really that much. But I like automation is more efficient. I like Paimon's method, manual all the way. I don't really mind too much. I genuinely, like, I just don't even think about it. If you're talking about like which in this game, I have not fished once, so maybe automation is probably more efficient for me.
That's how I feel as well. To me, I'm happy as long as I catch some
See,
fish.
the problem is, from my perspective as Calvin, is that I don't fish in this game. I just don't. I fished one time in this game and never fished again. So, like, I think that, like, my truest self would say automation, because I don't fish.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Yeah. It's okay, though. That's okay, Paimon.
It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina.
Your mother?
My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say.
That's a tough situation, isn't it? Where, like, you want him to, like, let you in on, like, all these secrets and stuff, I guess, but also at the same time, you don't want to become exactly like him as well. So there's probably, the conflict there was probably, like, wild.
My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant.
Wait, so is she saying that, like... So they were just happy with who she was, which is great. But, like, they all lined up to listen to her get scolded? Is that because they were like, why is that?
No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so
Maybe she's
often.
saying because no matter how much scolding that he did, she didn't change.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was.
They passed it on to you?
When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me.
Wow.
But once, I saw Malus come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me.
Such an interesting way to grow up, right? Is the idea of seeing someone do something for you and have it have negative consequences to the person doing something for you. And it can make you feel kind of useless sometimes, or maybe feel like you've been kind of like a bit of useless, even though like I wouldn't go that far.
I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities.
Yep, 100%. I think it's so fair.
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences.
Oh, I get this now.
And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes.
What she's saying now, and it's very sad. It's very sad. She's saying now she's still thinking that like maybe she hasn't. She's trying maybe to grow up like even more, even though like she's done so well. And Silver Malus would say that she's such a great leader. She's thinking that was another mistake she made that she would have made as a teenager or as a child, where Silver Malus died because of a mistake that she made or because she needed them to help her. It must be still really hard for you.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. I shouldn't have brought
No.
that up.
No, it's fine.
I wasn't planning to talk about
You
sad
talk about whatever
things
you need
tonight.
to talk about.
Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's.
Yeah, and it's hard to find a balance between that, you know, the growth and the nurturing, right? It's hard sometimes. But you're really getting there. You really are. And like I feel like, you know, that would hurt anybody, you know, like you tried so hard, and she did so well. She's been doing so many great things. You know, even with help, and there's nothing wrong with getting help, but she definitely sees Malus and Silver dying as a direct correlation to Malus coming home one day being injured after one of her mistakes.
And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line.
Yeah. No, and I think her story is so good. It's so good, and it makes so much sense. And you can see the direct lines and direct correlations, and it's just one of the reasons why like she has like one of the best stories and one of the best character stories in the whole game.
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods
That's great
together.
though, learning something on the job, right? And like again, you're gonna get better at the next time.
We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch
Great,
it.
I just go and get gung-ho right into it.
You want Paimon to help
You can do it. You can do it, Paimon. I love that. Music here is gorgeous. So beautiful. Such beautiful music. After some time, you finally manage to reel in a prize catch together. For the rest of the night, your rod continues to rack up catch after catch, while for some reason, Navia can't seem to hook a single fish. Navia's quite upset about her bad luck, but it's only when you begin to head back that Paimon discovers the real reason for the mystery why she didn't get a single bite.
You didn't attack
Oh
a hunter?
no. And again, I love this because they're showing, like, again, this is why your story's so good. They're showing, like, you know, even like the most even the best leader who's, like, you know, still learning and still getting better at their job is going to make mistakes, right? And I love that she has that correlation where she's like, I want to get better because I don't want people to have to, like, suffer for any mistakes I might make. Even though I don't think the Poisson thing was something that she, like, they would have done that for her even if, like, it was direct, even if she was directed, which she wasn't, even if she was responsible for it, they would have helped her out. I think that's great, though, that the message here that she's giving off, that we want to instill in her head as well. First of all, she needs to take more praise. She needs to take more praise. She does not feel like it's her fault all the time, because that's something she's feeling as well. We need to acknowledge that. But she's also, like, saying, like, I don't want to be always have to rely on other people. That's probably why she doesn't want an attendant right now. But at the same time, she acknowledges that accepting help off of people, especially your partners like us, is still a very good thing.
Stop wasting time. The boss ain't gonna wait all day.
What do you mean, the boss ain't gonna wait all day?
We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information
Wait.
as you wish.
Well, your rod was
He's just doing
missing
it
a
there?
part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
No, it's okay. No.
Well,
Well, they were
if we're
just...
talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes
It's a long day, but still, like, what? Are they doing that in secret? Please, Calder, please.
All right, go to bed. I had a great
I had a fantastic
today.
time too, and it was great seeing you. But, like, watch out for what's happening over there. See you tomorrow, Navia.
See you tomorrow.
What the hell's happening with those two? Something has to be happening.
Ah, so how was last night? Did you get
If
a
he
good
doesn't
night's
mention
sleep?
what's happening right now,
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar. Get it?
good, Paimon, great. No. I need to save this image. Just where did you get that from?
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
Coulter, I'm glad you give all the praise to Paimon while you can. Please tell me you weren't going behind Navia's back.
See? This guy gets it.
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Yeah, he didn't mention it. The operation is apparently going ahead. He didn't mention it. His little secret conversation over here with frickin' with Cherry Magoo. I swear to frickin' God. I swear to frickin' God. I have a boiling feeling in my stomach, guys. There better be a fantastic explanation, a superb explanation, because if not, the betrayal of someone like Navia to me is not, it's not going to be for the faint of heart. It won't be. I can't deal with that right now. Especially when Navia's in such a time of reflection, of hurt, of pain, but also growth and change. I will not allow someone to interfere with what is happening right now. I will not. I want to get Navi to a place where eventually she can take compliments, where she can feel like she is respected. If he wants to do this, I will not hold back. I will not hold back.
Adele, we're back. We brought you a gift from the court too.
Whoa, thank you so much,
Oh my God, it's so much happier now talking to us, right?
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
Well, she is the boss.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift,
Oh,
I've also got another
I get it.
surprise.
Oh, I
Guess
just got
who's
it.
here?
Sorry, Navia, I interrupted you. I probably did that before as well as my boss. She called her boss, because she feels like she's already in the speeda. That's really funny.
It's been a while.
Hello again.
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on Jacques' case.
It's no problem.
I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
Yeah, but like I feel like that was also like we did do a lot, but I feel like that was also like one of the best team efforts I've ever seen in my life.
You're really amazing. And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too.
You don't know the half of it, Adele.
What's in this thing? Can I look?
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's a Spina di Rosula uniform. Is it for me? But isn't it a bit
Yeah,
big?
because you have to grow into it. That's, oh my god, I have chills, Navia.
Well, it's
She
a
made
gift
it
for
bigger.
future
That's so
you.
smart.
When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was
Heck yeah.
overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry about your safety.
Yeah, I think this is so smart and such a great touch, making it just a tiny bit bigger.
So I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older. But this uniform is a promise that you can join us once you're old enough to
This
wear
is...
it.
You're such a natural, Navia. You're such a natural at this.
Oh, so that's it. Well, thank you so much, Miss Navia. I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can.
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard. You've got to be patient.
Yes. It takes a lot of growth.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish and took it seriously.
Yeah, and this must feel fantastic for you, yeah, that people are still thinking about you.
Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
That is great.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
No, that's fantastic.
Boss!
Oh no.
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
Cold, if you said nothing.
Got something urgent to report. Romeo and his folks have gathered outside Poisson.
What?
And even shipped in
Oh,
a huge
Colder.
pile of explosives.
Colder, I swear to freaking God, you're done.
What?
You're done.
Explosives?
What the hell?
What do they want?
Things have only just gotten slightly better.
It seems like they've been planning this for some
Oh
time.
no.
We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeo and his folks must have gotten wind as well. Because they abandoned
Yeah.
their former posts before we could even check on them.
And like here's the thing, if Coulter betrayed us, he's the one who brought her up at first, so it all became like such
We
very
investigated
coincidental.
their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
Could they have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
I think that must have been part of some plan as well.
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison.
What about your
Garden.
conversation yesterday, buddy, huh? What about your conversation?
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well, too late now, I suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
Oh my god, very symbolic place to put it. What could that
They
mean?
want to blow up the Clementine
Jesus
line?
Christ.
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeo and his
Oh my
followers
God, it
hate
feels-
the Spina and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of
Yes.
their contention.
Yes.
If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come
I didn't even
crashing
think of
down
that.
the hill and straight into Poisson.
It's like it's doubly symbolic. Like this decision you made in the past is going to come crumbling down on you. But it wasn't her decision.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people.
We have to
in
stop. We have to
Poisson.
stop them. And then Coulter, I swear to God.
If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by. We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople and get them as far away from the entrance as possible. That should save them from the worst of it.
Thinking on your feet 100%, because for me, I'm just like again, this is why Navia's so fantastic. I was just thinking, let's go there and beat them up. You know what I mean? But like she's already thinking about, again, the things that a leader should be thinking about, right?
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be
Yeah.
the safest
She's
place.
so smart with this. They're so smart with this.
My dear partner, can I leave the
100
Clementine line
and
to
do
you?
not worry. about it 100% at all.
If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would plummet to the
Yes.
ground. Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Got it. Does Coulter want to come with me?
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe.
Yeah, Coulter should come with us. Obviously, we wouldn't know that. Our characters wouldn't know that.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Yeah, look at there he is. Look at there he is. You fool. You absolute fool. Do not even try it.
Watch out, boss!
She moved back so quickly. Oh no, he got in between as well. Holy hell, dude, what were you thinking? That's Navia. What did you think? From the start, her whole story is that she's like one of the fairest ladies in the whole land, one of the most fanciest ladies. But that's not her only thing. That's not her only thing. Did you underestimate her?
What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You fool. See what he's doing now? He was happy that Malus and Silver are gone.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd
Oh
be left
my
alone
god.
with me? Coulter,
I'm so I skipped back. I'm so sorry.
you knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
He brought this up in the first place. He was the first person to bring it up.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more
It doesn't matter.
radical
It does not matter if you
ideas.
didn't care for his radical ideas, because what happened now is that his radical ideas will come to pass because of your meddling.
And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate
What?
you. Only you,
What?
Navia.
Why? Why?
You better stick close to me.
Romeo promised me that he would
He's
leave
amazing, by the way,
Poisson alone
Florin.
if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my
Oh my
move.
god. Let's go this place. Let's go this place. Let's go for a walk. Oh, can I go for a walk and talk with you? He's planning to do it then.
Romeo has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Jeez, that's hate.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question.
Then explain.
You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all die, little by little. And it was all because of
What?
you, Navia. Clementine died because of you. Callus died because
Stop.
of you. Malus and Silver
Stop.
died because of you.
No, 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 no.
And so many more dead. Everyone dead. All because of
So let's say
you.
this was true and you believe this to be, you believe that Navi is the reason that is responsible for their death. Yes, Callus died because he wanted to send a message of like again, it was, he mentioned his daughter before he died, right? Yes, right? But here's the thing with this stuff with Malus and Silver as well. That's already going to affect her. This is already affecting her so much. But let's say all this was true in your mind, Coulter. How many people are going to die today because of that line, the Clementine line? You can say, I didn't have anything to do with it. No, you did. You did.
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was
Disgusting.
An act too?
He's disgusting.
Now you're catching on. I heard Malus was dead the moment I got out. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened and resolving to apologize
Yeah?
to Malus as soon
Did
as
ya?
I got out. Back then, because of that aqua bus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking. The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the
The good old days. You're
again.
stuck, man. You're stuck there. You're stuck there.
But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you.
Do you not think she was trying to stop this prophecy from taking place? If you actually knew them as well as you thought you did, Malus, if you actually thought you knew him as well as you thought you think you did, even if not, they would have argued with Navia that they had to go and help this situation out. They would have argued. They would have died for Navia, regardless of if it was a mistake or not. Look, and again, this is setting her back. She was showing so much growth, and they're says,
I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death
Stop.
and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
the truth of this is, and this is so horrible because this is something that, again, she's trying to, like, not move on from, but, like, respect the past as she's moving forward. And he's going to set her back with the stuff. The funny thing is about this whole conversation is when Luce and Silver, if they were here now, they'd call him an idiot. If Callus was here, he'd tell him to stop. If Clementine was here, he'd tell him to stop as well. If everyone who died was still here, they'd be like, shut the hell up.
Don't listen to him, boss. He's just spouting
Look how much
nonsense.
respect you have here. Look how much love you have here.
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around
Oh, shut
you
up.
don't actually care about
Fool.
you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and
Look what he's doing
Clementine's
to her.
child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing?
You have no idea the stuff that she's done.
Have you ever considered that maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came?
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences.
Oh my god.
And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you. And pay the price.
See, she
for
already
your
had this on her
mistakes.
mind. She already had this on her mind. That's why she was trying to move forward with this stuff.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. But is that really why they support
No.
me? Is their kindness
Not no, that's not what I say. No, don't think like this. Not no, that's not why they didn't support her. It was real. I saw Melus and Silver. I saw the people talking to you. You've seen us. I seen the way Florent jumped in front of you. All of that. There's care in those words.
Shut your mouth! I, for
There we go.
one, really
You-
like Miss Navia.
Oh my god.
And my mom loves her too.
Yes. Yes. My heart is pounding.
I don't know how to explain it, but I like
Yes.
her. And that's
Oh my
that.
god, I love this girl. Yes.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely
He'd hate
disappointed
this
in you right
guy.
now.
He would tell him to shut up right now.
You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
Absolutely. No, here's the thing. He is delusional. He is delusional if he thinks anyone from the good old days, quote unquote, would even help him with this stuff. He is delusional.
You're gonna have to.
Look, as he's like again, she's thinking, oh, someone's gonna throw themselves in front of you if you're a mistake. But this isn't a mistake. This is just people helping her, and I think that she's again. This I don't want this to set her back.
Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here
Oh
before
no!
you get
Again,
buried.
she's gonna see this as someone else jumping in front of her. Exactly.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history
There we go.
of the Spina and Poisson
Go
like
on,
this.
Navia.
But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get
Yes,
to where I
I'm
am.
so glad. I'm so glad she didn't let him get inside her head. So glad.
And even now,
He was there for a
I
second.
will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I
Oh
love.
my god!
Spina
That's
Divosula.
such a great line. Are you kidding me, Navia? Oh my! Oh, you're done. You guys are done. Oh no, my god, that was such a great line. Let me show you how much I love the Spina de Razula. That is a fantastic. I've chills my like. That is such a fantastic line.
I'm fine. Watch out.
So good.
Fire. Well,
So freaking good.
watch out.
He still have her weapons on. Because again, like he got in her head for a second. He was there for a second. He was. Because that's the stuff she was talking about before. But what they said was so right. What Florence said was so
Hold
right.
on. I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople.
What Florence said was right. If Silver and Malus were here, they would be so angry with this guy. The good old days is just a facade that people have sometimes. Yes, there are good old days. Yes, there's stuff in the past that's really good. But sometimes we only remember the good old days as good because we don't remember the bad parts about it too.
If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly. And don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary
And look at this.
civilians.
She's such a leader. This is our leader.
I can't allow my partner to face the danger
Oh
on the
my
Clementine line alone.
I love this so much.
Got it, boss. I'm on it.
Did you see that?
Are you okay, Navia?
Are you okay? Just a simple, are you okay?
I don't know. But I have
Oh
to
my
go.
god. Again, this is part of her just, she's like, yes, I feel it, but I have to move forward. Oh my god, a short while later, you in the... Oh my god, that moment. That line, this is how much I love Poisson.
Let's hurry up there. We have to protect the Clementine line.
And like we said about earlier, by the way, and I totally agree with it, you know? Like Paimon said, she has to deal with so much. She always has to cope with something. She always has to think about stuff that's happening in her life. Does she ever get a time to sit down and go, this is what happened? And with all the repairs and all the stuff that she's trying to take up with being a leader, it's difficult to even get to that stuff. And so I want to make it clear that I'm so proud of her as a leader, but at the same time, 100% Paimon's correct. That she needs, at some point, to take stock, to sit down when all of this is, and even if she wants to even do it when all of this is over, because we're not going to convince her to stop helping Poisson for even a second. Sit down and say, here, what's happening? You know? What's happening with you? She was asked the question, are you okay? And she said, I don't know. Right? And that's so true to her story. Because she hasn't had time to think about if she's okay or not.
If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives
So
next
interesting.
to the support pillars.
My heart is pounding. It's such an incredible scene. Lee's location with... Wait, what? We shouldn't have done that, by the way. But it's okay. Because now we have to wait for it to recharge again. We could just use Shang Yung and destroy all of them. This is such an interesting thing. It's like going to get there in like a time limit with an explosion happening. Yeah, you're done, though.
Fire, pants on fire. Go.
So freaking cool. Like the idea of like it's like the ending of like we have to get there in time. There's an explosion happening.
No, my sword.
So freaking sick. Reinforcements are coming.
Time to go.
So freaking cool.
Rain cutter.
The night is cold.
Do we have a vaporize in there as well? No, it's so neat. It's so freaking neat. And it makes so much sense. There's a time limit with this as well.
They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right
That's
direction.
so true, Paimon. Bro, you're gone, guys. You're gone. You're gone.
Not now.
Look at this.
Cross over.
Obviously, we're worried about blowing this up, but I don't think they're gonna let us blow it up like this. Hopefully not, anyway. No, this is such a cool mission, man. The idea of like that we're like
My guiding star.
literally a race against time with this explosion makes so much sense. It makes it so much more like heart racing as well. So cool.
These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. How can we disable it? Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch
Makes
any of
sense.
this
Makes perfect
stuff.
sense. That was incredible. What's this? It's a key?
Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for?
It's some kind of keyhole?
Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's see what we can find.
Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I can't get out like how again my heart is racing here. Look for the objective in this area. I wonder if it's like a key or something, or if it's like so Paimon's on this side. Here? Radish. Strange. Here we go.
Oh, you found it!
Look at this angle. Paimon looks like she's like a magical fairy in the distance. The music here is gorgeous for such a tense situation.
That should do it, right? Navia and Florent should be able to relax now.
We should still check out the perimeter. Yes, 100%. I took a breath there just because I needed to, but yes.
Oh, you're right. They could have set explosives elsewhere, too. Let's go.
Whoa. Whoa, we're getting a cutscene? What? Wait, it did explode. No!
They're gonna bury
Oh no, there's one, there's more than one. Oh my god, look at the Traveler, oh my god. He's, Jesus Christ. When they let him be the coolest person in the world, he is legit the coolest person who ever lived. Because look at this. Holy hell, the landslide as well. Look at him.
Great work, partner.
Great work,
Leave
partner.
the rest to
Navia.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block the
Oh,
me. Look, I'm doing this the
this
Spina
music
way.
as well. Look at her. No way. Oh my god. She's shooting the boulders down. The music as well. Do you hear this? Oh, she's so cool. She's so cool. I have chills. She's so cool. Holy freaking hell. With the cannons. Do you hear this music? Do you hear this? I can't. Putting up the umbrella then to block it as well. This was so awesome. I got this, partner. Look at her. Look at her. The music, everything, the scene, the sense. Oh, the beat. No, wait. No, wait. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I can't. The peace sign. I adore her. Having been alerted the members of Basic Guardians. Okay, I might. This quest is incredible. It's incredible. Nah, look what Navia
I
did.
heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di
I
Rosula.
nearly feel
Do you
sick.
plan to settle this privately with them?
I feel like I'm going to, like, get sick.
I have nothing more to say to them.
Holy hell.
Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to.
I think that's so freaking good because she took the approach of being like, you know, I'll talk it out. We won't keep those grudges, but they kept those grudges intact. So she's like, okay, then fine. And this is one of those things why she's a fantastic leader. Okay, fine then. You want to do this? This is how it goes then.
Please prosecute them in accordance to the law.
And she,
Spina di Rosula will not raise any
there you go.
objections.
I think it's so appropriate for the character and for the story that's happening now.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse.
Yes.
All right. This operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone! And you were so cool!
Yes. Cooler than cool.
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time.
You feeling a bit fatigued? Yes, this is the time when we can also, if you want to calm down now, you've done so much. You've done so much. If you want to calm down now, you can.
It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Okay. We got you, though. We got you. As always, we got you. You know this.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Yeah. That's actually a really nice touch as well, like, because I guess, like, you know, I didn't see it like that. Like, I guess she does get a little excited. She just tries to brush it off, like we often do. Look at that crab in the back. Florian, you're amazing. I can't believe I ever suspected you even for a second before.
We managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeo really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all, too. We won't have to worry about them from now on.
That was incredible.
Got it. That's good at least.
Yeah. This guy here.
Coulter, I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious.
And Navia knows, Coulter, Navia would know about this more than anybody.
I am not callous. And I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone.
So fair to say as well. So fair.
But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew.
Yes, and that's what I see Navia's reign as the leader of the Spina de Rosula.
I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus routes.
Look at her. She's even now, after all of this stuff, she's thinking about how she's going to implement her leadership.
So that one day, the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons it brings as well.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus would never have said anything like that.
Okay, bro. Just take a step back, though.
There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula.
That's a punishment. That's not even the word. The word isn't even fair. I would look at it as like almost like a rope in the darkness getting that type of punishment. It's like compared to the crime you tried to commit today, barely a punishment. You should be lucky that Navi's leader, the Spina di Rosula.
But once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
You know what? She's nicer than the nicest person in the world. Because honestly, dude, this is like more than you deserve.
Thank you, Navia.
And the reason she does is because she understands the idea of loss. She understands the idea of losing people and things changing, right? But that's more than anyone would have given him in any other sense.
Boss really
She
is
is.
a kind and gentle
She's
person.
sweeter because again, we can understand the idea of loss and things changing. Change is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. But what he did could have and again, he can say, I wasn't part of that. No, it is. You were part of that at that point. If you know about something that's going to happen down there and you don't say anything, then you are a part of it at that point. You were an accomplice.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky
Oh, and she's
person.
talking about herself like this as well. I wonder if it's easier that way.
Thank you for protecting the Clementine line.
Navia, you protected the Clementine line.
I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself.
It's almost like, again, like you said, the Clementine line is like a symbol of her mother. Like you give a name to an object and it becomes like much more than the object itself.
A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Look at it. Just again, it's so imposing. You can see it from most places in Fontaine.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired.
Oh, we don't even know what happened. It's a good thing she didn't tell us.
Just give her some time.
It's okay. Everything's fine now.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength.
100%. I love that she asked for help with some stuff as well.
Traveler,
Oh.
I want to ask you something. And please,
Oh,
tell
this
me the
image.
truth.
This image.
Do you really see me as your partner?
Navia. Of course.
Of course.
Oh, of course.
That's good then.
Like, oh my god.
Hearing that, it brings me more
Are you
relief
kidding
than
me?
I can say.
You being by my side brings me relief. The MVP of Fontaine.
How do you feel, Navia? Any better after taking a break?
Good leaders know when they need help as well, and that's why I think she's fantastic.
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more
Yes,
days.
100%. I'm glad she's realizing this too. Take stock of everything. And during that rest, it's probably going to be a very difficult moment. By the way, that scene with their arm over us was so amazing. It's such an incredible scene. Like, just a simple thing. Do you really consider me your partner? Because, of course, like, there's people who betrayed her, there's people who have died, there's people who have left, and she's asking us, are you still there with us? It's like, 100% I'm there with you. And it's not just with Poisson, but with her. But yeah, over the next few days when she takes a rest, it's probably going to be the hardest day she's ever had, because while it's a rest, when you're not doing something to keep your mind occupied, that's when everything starts, to creep in and think about stuff. And you're going to want to do something so badly. You're going to want to get up and help someone else. And helping people is a good thing. It can feel good. But I think taking those like 3 days or 4 days to sit down and take stock of everything is good.
Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me.
That's because I've never heard you doubt yourself before. But that's okay.
I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought
And that's okay.
I was.
That's 100% okay.
Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life. Do you think they ever regretted the choices they made? Has my existence
Oh my god.
made this world a better place?
Navia, there is almost a mathematical, undeniable, factual evidence that you have made this place better. It is undeniable that this world is safer, more intact, because you are alive.
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more
She's
than
done enough for 10 lifetimes.
No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of
Yes.
the world.
Florin?
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession
Oh?
as well. There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already
No
prepared.
way.
Florent, I hope you can understand that I
Yeah,
can't deal
yeah.
with any more shocking revelations.
Hearing the
right
softer
now.
tone in her voice is killing me as well. And I understand, again, it's one of those things where it's like, we accept it and we love hearing it because it shows that she is like, finally, taking stock of everything. But it's still like, it's so different, from the Navia that we know.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a
Thank
pleasant
God, Florin, because I actually think you're amazing. I think you're superb. Go with Navia to see the surprise. Whereabouts? Down in Poisson? Yeah, no, that whole scene was fantastic. I love the idea of Navia not doubting herself anymore. No, sorry, not doubting herself, to putting the opposite, putting doubt into herself. Because I feel like, while it's like, you don't want someone to doubt themselves, I think also she always has doubted parts of herself, and she's opening up about those aspects more than anything. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. That she is, and her asking us the question, are you sure we're partners? Right? It's her thinking, am I deserving of being of this position? Am I deserving of being your partner? Am I deserving of being the head of the Spina Rizzula? Has what I've done changed things? And that is something that shows that she has a lot of self-doubt about herself, because this is the equivalent of someone in our world, right? Like literally saving countless lives after some horrible situation happened. And then not only that, creating lives, a better place for lives in that same place where that horrible thing happened. Then saving people from a place over here as well. Like this is beyond what a lot of people are able to do. It kind of reminds me of how Xiao has helped people countless times survive and save their lives and done all this stuff, right? But Xiao will still sit there and be like, and he's opened up more now. He's like very much more open now. But Xiao is like, in terms of character writing, is such a good character for that reason as well, where it's like, it's a different type of doubt. It's one of those things where it's like he's forcing himself to doubt himself, and I guess doubt his emotional side. Even though like he's done so much for everybody, it's like there's no doubt from our side. I'm super interested to see what this is going to be. If Florin betrayed her as well, or did something to betray her, like, guys, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I need you to understand that, like, I genuinely think he's, like, a fantastic character. What he did there for Navia was so great. So good. This is a fantastic story quest. This is amazing. We should rank them all at the end as well, like my 10 favorite story quests. I think that would be a good idea, too. This is more than up there. It's all the way up on the boat as well.
Huh?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
Why is everyone gathered
Oh
here?
no.
And what's this?
Oh no.
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the
No.
town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was
No,
finished.
no, no.
But
No,
special times
God,
call
no.
for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before. So I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Do I really look that bad?
It's okay to be drained. It's okay.
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
What are they unveiling? What are they unveiling? What are they unveiling? It's Callus. Oh, it's the statue. No. Wait, it's what they're doing for the statue. They're gonna make a statue of Navia. No.
This
No.
is
That's so amazing.
Papa,
Look at her.
Mother, and me.
Look at them. Navia, don't you belong? Look at this. How could you not belong there? You were born to be that's up in there. Look at that. Look at that.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old
Oh.
camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of
And
the
this is all
Speed.
them doing without you asking, without you even wanting it, without you.
Wow. This is the statue
They
you
planned this all
mentioned
along.
before?
They knew this was happening all along.
It is indeed.
Look
To
at
be
them
honest,
all.
we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
So like those pictures were literally now just for fun.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus
Stop.
and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work
Yes.
she's put in regarding the whole synth business and the rebuilding of Poisson.
So many tears in my eyes.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization.
There's nobody
now.
who deserves this more. At all.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's
Amazing.
future.
Amazing.
We are gathered here today to tell our boss
Stop.
that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory
Oh
days.
god. Yeah, not for the glory days.
That's what
I
we
can't.
believe as well.
I will also believe in the bond but this game is not right to do this stuff at all.
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is.
This is, you deserve this. Are you not looking up at the thing and seeing how much you've done for everybody?
This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
Dear Christ. She deserves it so much. So much. That's... Look. Navia.
It seems like I started to question myself a bit too much.
That's
I'll
okay.
pick myself up again and become a more reliable president for all
That's
of you.
more than okay. I don't think I even look at it without even like tearing up. Look at this. You deserve this so much.
Looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier.
Why you about the gifts from the, why would you even be embarrassed about the gifts from the townspeople?
I'm sure everyone longs for that one thing in life that seems trivial to others,
but they themselves can never obtain?
I always I usually like every video will be like, I'm sorry for like sniffling, especially when I'm cheering up like this, and like I always get the in the comment section you guys being like, no, we need the sniffles, we like the sniffles, and I'm like, okay. I guess I won't apologize, because again, I see so much like in these games, and they mean so much to me.
To me, that would be a family portrait. I've always been super jealous of other people's family photos. I've never thought I'd receive a family portrait of my own.
Why?
Especially not like this. It seems like I'm not such an unlucky person after all.
That's what she said at the beach. That's what she said at the beach, and you deserve this and so much more.
It seems like I started to question myself a bit.
It's the same line as earlier.
I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier. You know, I've thought about it before. Though my mother only wanted me to live a happy life, that's actually a tall order as well. In practice, it's just as hard to achieve my father's expectations for me. Even though my parents had very different personalities, they always had a lot of respect for each other. The Aquabus project was a monumental project that stood to benefit all of Fontaine. It would have been a little close-minded to assess or evaluate it only from the perspective of the clan. I think that's probably why she didn't step in to mediate or oppose the building of the lines.
Sorry, I just wanted to listen to her talk about her mother quite a bit.
It seems like I started to question myself. Okay. Looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted.
This line's gonna kill me, isn't it? this whole question.
Oh, whoa. Why'd you have to remind me? Please don't say that again. It's super embarrassing for me. Oh, forget it now. Please forget that I ever said anything. Wait, but it'd also be bad if you were to forget it. Okay, but please keep it a secret between us from now on. Please don't ever mention
it again. You're incredible. That's our conversation with Navia. And quite like, okay, I thought I was only tearing up, but now here I am. I'm starting. I was like, oh great. Like I was thinking there, I was like, oh, I'm like tearing up, but at least I'm not like hegging it like before. I was like, oh, like, cause there's a mixture of happiness in this. But I think it's just like once, like, I feel like, does this make sense to any of you guys? When I say this to you guys, that like Navia is like a character that brings me great comfort. And I think I said it before that she fills me with so much happiness that like, I feel like while I'm talking to her, I can't be like overly sad. I can't be in a place where like I'm too devastated unless something's happening to her. So when I stopped talking to her there, I just felt this wave of emotion where I was like, that's Navia's story. That's it. That is her story quest done and her part in the Archon quest done as well. I don't want that to be over. I don't want it to be over at all. I don't want it to be over. This is my favorite character in Fontaine. Is Navia, easily my favorite character in Fontaine. I felt it, in a different way. With the Farina quest, I was like, it was more a case of like, this is it for her. The story quests really feel like, in terms of like the in-game story quests, it's like, now we might see them in other story quests, of course. Like, it would make sense if you look at the story quests here that like we would see, maybe see her in one of these other quests, maybe even like, maybe even Claran's quest or something like that. Oh my god, look how many little story quests we have left. We only have like 7. Holy hell. Everything's big, everything's gonna kill me anyway. But yeah, that story quest is fantastic. I really feel like it was a exploration into
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl, frilly churl, willy churl, frilly willy.
Thank you so much, Toto. Huto, thank you for that. Yeah, I really feel like this story, this story quest was trying to like put a ribbon on the story in a little way of Navia in a way, and like what it feels like to me is that it's like a I still haven't done that good and evil quest. I'll have to finish it off at some point. What it feels like to me with that the ribbon is not something that's to hide anything from it, but it is like this feeling of like Navi is a character who understands there's so many people that love her. She understands that it's going to be hard to take on this leadership, but she's already done such a fantastic job. They were trying to show, of course, she had doubts in herself. Of course, why wouldn't you? And it's totally okay to have doubts in yourself, and she did. But she's actually come to the place now where she is, where I feel like we could leave her and she'll be fine. I feel like she's going to be more than fine. Holy hell. This is a lot, saying goodbye to Navia. But she's going to do so well. She's going to be such a fantastic leader, and she already is a fantastic leader. And they did, you know, and doing that for her, that little gift was so nice. At first I thought it was like, I thought the gift was for a second was the anchor, and I'm like, that's nice. I was like, that's kind of nice. And then they unveiled it. I was like, that's like an anchor symbol, you know? I think as well with the story also, it shows that Navia has learned to be, has stayed true to her kind self while also acknowledging that she can't be kind to everybody. And you can't be always fair with everybody. Even though she was more than fair with Cole. Like, if I was punishing him, it would be way different. I'm just being honest with you guys, it'd be way different. And here's the thing, like, I always will understand where someone's coming from. You know, and Navi just said that losing people from the past is hard. Losing an identity from the past, because it feels like you've lost everything. You leave prison, and all of a sudden everything's so different from the good old days. Because in his mind, he's probably thinking this whole time, I'm going to reclaim those good old days when I go outside. When I leave this prison, I'm going to get those good old days. When he comes back out, he's seeing that things are different, but probably better in a lot of ways. Navia is a character to me that has a perfect story in this game, and an arc that is absolutely incredible. And I feel so lucky to have been able to witness it with all of you guys as well. I'm not going to apologize for the absolute glazing that I do. I think that's like a thing that people call it, glazing, right? Because like, I think that's what it's called, right? Glazing. I'm not going to apologize for that. Because if this quest went on for 3 more hours, you'd see 3 more hours of that as well. She is a character I adore. I adore so much, and she is like, again, I never knew the concept of a comfort character really until like very late in my life, because I heard about it. At first I was like, what, a comfort character? I was like, what does that even mean? And then I was like, oh, this is what it means. You know, when you meet, I think if I could think early back when I felt like that fully was like, or when I realized that was like, I was playing Dragon Quest 11, and Eric was a character that every time he talks, like, he just like fills me with warmth, and his voice just like, it makes me so happy. And I'm like, maybe like all along we've all had comfort characters. It's just putting a name to it, right? It's the idea of like, you know, because some people who were like, I don't believe in comfort characters, they can think that's 100% okay. But I imagine in some cases, like, we watch a TV show, and whenever a character shows up on screen, they get so happy. Or they watch a YouTube channel, and that person makes them so, not that's a comfort character, you know what I mean? For me, like, she just brings me so much happiness, and I would definitely want to give her happiness too as well. There's not much else I can really say about this. I thought that like it was just a really great arc, and a really great way of telling a story of a character who had a lot to live up to, was doubting herself living up to this, but didn't let herself get dragged down into those depths once again. Seeing how far she came along, and didn't let those mistakes, and again, they affected her, of course they did. They're always going to be on her mind, the stuff with Silver and Malus. Didn't let it get to her in a way that was going to damage her again, because she was saying, she when she stood up and said, I'll show you my love for Poisson, that was her saying, I love this place, I care about this place, so F off. And it's such a strong way of doing it, because she could have like cowered, you know, and again, we would have not protected her, we would have backed her up, because Florent was ready to protect her, but she wanted to do this herself and say, look, I love this place and I will fight for this place. And it was really incredible to see that. What's his burst?
Submit for judgment.
Very cool. Very cool. I think we have time for a wish. If we go back to the other place and we can buy some wishes. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be wishing on this over the next 20 days. I'm going to save up all the wishes until the last day, right? And then we'll do some wishes at that point. I think that's the best way to go, because we still have like a welcome and stuff like that, and we're going to be doing like commissions and quests and stuff like this. In fact, we'll be doing lots of world quests. So in 19 days time, which will be, wait, is that next year? It is, isn't it? Yeah, by the time you're watching this now, it's going to be next year. So in 2025, we will wish on Zhongli again. That's the plan. Look how little Sean Young is. He's so adorable. Am I not adorable? No, you are as well. You are as well. That's it. I'm gonna be here forever, guys. Because again, I don't want to leave. I really don't want to leave. But I'll say to you guys now, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much for supporting this series, and thank you so much to Never Gonna Pay the Baby Gangsta here on Patreon. That being Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Radish, Anusta, Malcolm Conde, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, The Assassin, Alpaca Juice, Eopsy, and Xander whatever. And I'll see you all so soon. Xiangyun, do you want to do the thing? So cool. So cool.